achieved.
Holy wow, we're back. Who would have thought it? Welcome back to Studio Day Heffrey. Day quarantine, day 3 of no tobacco. Like day 3.5, I guess. Third full day with no tobacco. We're patched up. See, we're patched up there. Anybody wants to sponsor my patch, you just let me know, okay? Remember, I need your thumbs ups and I need your comments in the comment field because that makes me feel good about myself. I need those on every video. Please make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube page, youtube.com/Jeff Kavanaugh. And then you leave in the comments what you want to talk about tomorrow. All right, so the Jamal Adams thing, obviously, I did a video yesterday that you can go watch. Have I evolved my thoughts from there? Yeah. First round pick, that's it. You want a first round pick for Jamal Adams? Done. I'll figure out the cap stuff, no problem. But I've decided, no more. I'm on Broadus' side here. No, you can't have a 3. No, you can't have a 4. No, you can't have little add-ons for a guy who wants out. No. First round pick. That's it. Got to make him the highest paid safety in football. Got to restructure deals to make it all fit. No, first round pick. Otherwise, I'll draft one. Okay. Forget that, though. What I want to talk about is this one hurts me. If you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you know that I am a Dak Prescott, I don't want to say fan because obviously I'm a very measured analyst. I'm just trying to help you guys understand how good Dak is if you're a Dak hater. But for the first time, I have found something that might give the people who think that Dak is awesome a little bit of pause. This will feed the Dak haters, which I hate to do, but I was reading Pro Football Focus, donging around on the internet, and they did an article, and I think it was Sam Monson. He did an article on the best quarterbacks in pass-heavy games. So when you're throwing the ball a ton, just winging it all over the field, which quarterbacks are the best? So what they did was they took games where quarterbacks have at least 40 dropbacks, right? And the best quarterbacks in that scenario, of course, Pat Mahomes is number 1. So here's the criteria. Highest percentage of 40-plus dropback games where you're throwing it a ton that earned a single game grade of 75 or higher. And this encompasses Dak's entire career. And this isn't perfect either because, 1, you're relying on their grading. And 2, I don't have the context of what led to dropping back 40 times. Is it because you had already thrown a pick or turned the ball over twice and you were down 14? I don't have that context, which I don't love, but guys that are the best when they drop back that often, Patrick Mahomes for Pro Football Focus grades out at 75 or higher 54% of the time. He's the only guy over 50% of the time with that high of a grade when they're dropping back 40 times in a game. And I think part of this might be if you're dropping back 40 times in a game, a lot of times you are already losing. And so, yes, you've probably already not played well, which puts you in this spot. And so now you're winging it everywhere. But Mahomes is the best, right? Excuse me. And this goes back to 2006. So the next best guys, when you ask them to drop back at least 40 times a game, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson. Jared Goff is the random in here. Ben Roethlisberger, Matt Ryan. Like that reads as the best of the best quarterbacks in the league, right? So the percentage of games that they get at least a 75 grade from Pro Football Focus are 54, 48, 47, 45, 43, 40, 35, 34, 34, 34. So you see that a lot of the really good quarterbacks, anywhere from 34 up to Pat Mahomes levels, that's how often they get that sort of grade. So I want to take that to Dak because the argument is that you don't want the ball in Dak's hands too often because he's not good enough for that, right? That's the argument that some would make. So how does he fit in? Would have taken 34% to get onto that list with those other guys. Dak's at 14.3%. Not even close. So this is interesting context. But it does lack context. But it is interesting. I'm the Dak guy. I believe that he's one of the best 10 for sure quarterbacks in the league and probably 8. And so this is interesting. Now, it's his entire career. It's not just last year. and we don't have the context of how each individual game went. But that's really interesting that when he's asked to drop back at least 40 times, he only grades out well 14% of the time, according to Pro Football Focus. So I don't love that number. Now, part of that would be years where, he is still in his first contract and getting better every year. So I would factor that in. And the rest of those guys have been playing for, let's see, is there anybody else? Goff, I guess, same amount of time played. Watson, also young. Mahomes, young. But the rest of those guys are guys who have had, over the course of a career, to put together those games. So does it worry me about Dak? Not really. But I did want to acknowledge that there is, if you're a Dak doubter, there is some evidence out there that would support you. Because I need to help you guys, if we're being honest. Because if you're a Dak doubter, you've been doing it without evidence for a long time. A long time. You've just been yelling 8-8. And then I'm like, all right, but what about his career record? No, the team was good. Well, wait a minute. So are you telling me that the team can be good or bad and help decide what your record will be? And it's like, he's 8-8. So here's a little something that points you towards, 28 tries, dropping back 40 or more times, 14.3% of it graded better than a 75 with Pro Football Focus. But he's getting better and better. My guy's a baller. I'm not worried about my guy. I just wanted to show you guys that. Next topic for discussion today. Cowboys front seven. So, Twitter buddy of mine does a lot of draft work and NFL stuff, and now he's doing writing for, let me make sure I get this right, but I believe he's doing writing for Cover One. It's at Brad Kelly 17. He's a draft and college football analyst at Cover One. He just willy-nilly throws out this tweet this morning that made me go, what? Dallas has one of the 5 best front sevens in football. By the end of the year, that group could become one of the best 2 or 3. One of the 5 best front sevens. So what's the Cowboys front seven right now? Gerald McCoy and Dontari Poe at defensive tackle. Tank Lawrence and Tyrone Crawford, or maybe Aldon Smith, at defensive end. Jalen Smith, Leighton Vander Esch, and if you're playing a third linebacker, Sean Lee. We saw a version of this last year, and I just saw that, and I went, whoa, I wish I had that sort of confidence, and I want to have confidence in the Cowboys. Because to me, it's hard to make that case because Gerald McCoy is not what he once was. McCoy's still a good player. I still think he's a slight upgrade over Malik Collins, but he's not the dominant player that he once was. Dontari Poe, definitely an upgrade over what you started at nose tackle last year, but he's not what he once was either. Tank Lawrence is great. Jalen Smith and Leighton Vander Esch, neither one played all that well last year. And so this goes back to what I think the hope is for the Cowboys front seven. Here is the hope, that Gerald McCoy and Dontari Poe change a lot, and that the return of Tyrone Crawford helps you as well. Because Brian Broaddus talks about this a lot. Tank Lawrence missed Tyrone Crawford last year. Those guys in the interior just weren't doing a lot for you. That's why Robert Quinn and Tank, both defensive ends, were in the top 10 for most often being double-teamed in the league with blockers. Like, they were drawing 2 blockers, both of them in the top 10 in the league. That means nobody respected your interior. So I like where Brad's head is at. I want to have that same optimism. I don't at the moment, but I like where his head is at because the hope is that now that you've got better players on the interior, your linebackers are more free. So now your linebackers play better because your defensive tackles play better. Tank Lawrence is freed up to get back to where he normally is with sacks because now he's getting some help with some interior push, and you can't double team him all the time. And Aldon Smith, you need Aldon Smith. Well, I could do without Aldon Smith. If I get improved D-tackle play, which leads to more sack production for Tank and leads to better linebacker play, I'm cool. But it's also great if Aldon Smith and Tyrone Crawford can contribute in that way. So can I get with top 5? No, I can't get with top 5. Can I get with by the end of the year? Could be best 2 or 3. Probably not. But if you get Aldon Smith, if we get news soon that Randy Gregory is reinstated, both of those guys play up to their potential. Now you're cooking with bacon grease. But it was interesting to see a non-biased observer who does watch tape put him in the top 5. I was just kind of like, huh? But, man, wouldn't that be great? Where do you have the Cowboys front seven? Leave that in the comments. YouTube.com/Jeff Kavanaugh. All right, mailbag. I'm going to rapid fire a mailbag here for you. Joe Cook said, Colin Cowherd's cow turd list comparing Dak to Tannehill. Colin's metrics are putrid. Please address this farce of a comparison. When you look at my channel, you will notice that it says real is the first word, like real Cowboys analysis. I will never acknowledge whatever Colin Cowherd says. I think he's a talented radio guy, but no, that's not for me. Like the national guys, that's not for me because their goal is, everybody's goal in radio is to get you to listen. But I want you to listen because what we're talking about is educational and fun, interesting, not because it's polarizing. Like that's their job. Cowherd can have that. If you ever asked me about what Cowherd or Skip or Stephen A. or whoever had to say about the Cowboys or about the NFL, I can't answer because I won't watch it because it's not good. So there's that. Also, don't hate on Tannehill. I thought he overachieved in Miami on a bad team, and last year he was great. No, come back, laptop. I've lost you. Come back, notes. Where are my notes? Those are my therapy notes from yesterday. Therapy's kick ass. Don't be afraid to go. Mental health matters. Let's see. I can't do the Adams trade. This is from Sir. I can't do the Adams trade. I'd rather draft. If we've done that last year, we would have missed out on CeeDee Lamb. That's true. I'm really glad they did not make that first-round pick and whatever else trade for Adams last year because who knew CeeDee Lamb was falling in your lap? Ryan Case, topic for tomorrow. Compare Jamal Adams and Malik Hooker, what it costs to get them, their price tags, and the player they are. Obviously, Adams is a better player. Malik Hooker was a great prospect as a deep free safety, and he's been okay in the NFL, but no, I'd rather draft. I'd rather just figure it out later. Go with Xavier Woods and Clinton Dix for a year. And safety will be a priority next offseason, whether it's free agency, whether it's draft, whether it's Jamal Adams at the trade deadline or next offseason. It'll be a priority. Mel, will CD see his full potential with Dak as his QB? See, there you go. You got to just pew, pew. You got to fire a shot at Dak. Dak's a baller. Dak is a baller. Cut it out. So, yeah. CD will see his full potential a lot better than if he went somewhere where they didn't have a really good quarterback. Cowboys have a really good quarterback. Chill out. How's the quitting going from Hal? It's going. Let's go. Oh, here comes the Roomba. Hope you can't hear it, but the Roomba's coming. Trying to clean the house. Cleaning the house for lazy people. Roomba. How many backup QBs from Scott in the league would you take Kaepernick over, given he hasn't played a snap in the past 3 seasons? That's hard. I have no idea. If you gave me a list of backups, like, do I think he's better than Cooper Rush? Yeah. Is he better than Andy Dalton? I'd have to say no. Is he better than anybody who's been starting recently in the league? I don't have a definitive yes or no answer for that, but teams also don't want uncertainty. So you would go, oh, the Roomba's coming into the study. Normally it doesn't do that. I hope Kaepernick gets a job. I don't know what he's got. Like, what would be perfect is if RG3 wasn't in Baltimore, and so you could just plug him in as Lamar Jackson's backup or somewhere else where they run some zone read and they run RPO action. But hopefully he gets workouts, and then we'll see. And if he's deserving, then he'll get a roster spot, and that'd be sweet. That's all I got for today. Thanks for stopping by. Make sure that you are subscribed to the YouTube page. Surely not everyone was Kung Fu fighting. Everybody was Kung Fu fighting. Yeah, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you have notifications turned on. You don't want to miss a video, you know? You don't want to miss a video. And I'll catch you guys later on the radio, and catch you tomorrow when I'll use the comments that you leave on this video to make tomorrow's video.